Welcome to a manual dosing grinder. To start, we will run through all the major components of the grinder. Starting at the top, we have the bean hopper. At the bottom of the hopper, you have a slide which will shut off or allow the beans to flow through into the grinder. Next, we have our adjustment collar. This is the most important part of the grinder, and we will come back to this in a second. We have our on-off switch. Ensure the green light is on, indicating there is power to the grinder. We have our forks, which is where we will place our handle for grinding, and we have our dosing chamber at the front. When using a manual dosing grinder, it is important to have a good technique for dosing to ensure that a consistent amount of coffee is used. Our preferred technique is to fill the basket without tamping and level off any extra grinds back into the dosing chamber using the lid or a flat-sided brush. If you tap the coffee before leveling, you will overfill the basket, which can lead to higher inconsistency between shots, but can also exert too much resistance back on the machine, making it difficult for water to flow evenly through the coffee. We want to be consistent with our dose and then ultimately use the grind size to control the flow rate of the espresso. If the espresso is running too fast, we will adjust the grind finer. If the espresso is running too slow, we will adjust the grind coarser. Ensure you are only making a little adjustment at a time. Use the markings on the dial and the arrow on the grinder as a reference. We would recommend adjusting one mark at a time until you get the desired dose you are looking for. After adjusting the grind, it is important to remove all of the old coffee from the dosing chamber before grinding the fresh coffee in. For this reason, we try to keep the amount of coffee inside the dosing chamber to a minimum, especially when calibrating the grinder in the morning.